I'm Geoff Wilmot and I'm a member of the investment team here at RMB Corvest. We're a private equity company that looks to invest in mid-market businesses in South Africa and the UK. And we've been around for some time, and crucially what we look for are good businesses with strong operators and owners that we can partner with, and to try and ensure that alignment is appropriately put in place.
And I'm Sabelo Sithebe-Marishane, partner at Umoya Capital Partners, an unlisted equity investor based in South Africa. And very similar to Corvest, we look to find investments alongside trusted partners, strong management teams with business models we can understand, and find ways to provide value and create far better businesses than those that we found when we invested. And with that as context, Geoff, it's great for us to finally catch our breath and reflect on the recent transaction we've done in the acquisition of SANTS.
Absolutely. I mean, I think hopefully a good deal. Certainly it has all the characteristics, and I think that's what has excited us. And I think it's great just thinking about how we got there. It's off the back of an introduction from someone that we've both done work with before. We'd both completed a transaction. Thankfully, that transaction is going very well. So as you mentioned previously, it's a little bit of a compounding effect around building these relationships in the market and getting positive references. I think critically for us, building that relationship with Yaku when we met him, really trying to get the trust and just building rapport as a foundation for trying to take this transaction forward. And I think that's fortunately where we've got to. And yeah, it's certainly looking like an interesting business.
Yeah, man, well said. And I think through the work we'd performed, we saw how SANTS and its value proposition as a provider of a distance education model to South Africans who are looking to improve their lives, include themselves into the education space by studying for either a degree or a diploma that allows them to become a specialist educator, is one of the themes that we think and we looked at as being crucial in the South African context. I think we all know that through the next 5 to 10 years, nearly 60% of the 450,000 educators are going to leave the system, and that leaves us with truthfully an existential problem as South Africans. So the opportunity to be invested in a business that provides a low-cost model, allows people to remain in their communities, and not only through their studying period, but to become employed in those communities and improve teaching outcomes, really does have a great ring to it. Obviously, as financial investors, we like that the metrics make sense, but still to provide it on a low-cost model, allow people to save money by not having to pay for additional accommodation or transport. It's great that it serves two dual purposes.
Yeah, no, I think you've hit the nail on the head. And I guess, again, just thinking back to what matters to us, the business structure, the business operating model is crucial, but the people that we work with and the people that are actually running the business are hugely important too. And again, you know, in this instance, having found Yaku, being introduced to him, building that relationship with him, we certainly have in many respects been quite fortunate in the caliber and the quality of the individual. And he obviously took the business over from his father, who started it, and has built for the last 20 odd years, and we've got to a position now where it made sense to bring a third party into the mix. And again, thankfully it's us.
Well said, Geoff. And that ability to create additional capacity in the management team probably lends itself to the opportunities we saw at the outset, not only ourselves but alongside Yaku, to say, how can this business utilize its very strong distribution model to offer additional degrees, additional certificates, additional avenues into the vocation of education? And having Ryan alongside Yaku, we think, will probably give him that capacity and ability to do so. And why should we limit ourselves to education? I mean, who's to say that this ability to transfer knowledge and upskill people can't be utilized in different verticals? And that really would be interesting for us to look at South Africa's other structural issues and see, can we provide well-educated, well-qualified professionals into those?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the blue sky in this investment is huge. Just sticking within the core, there's huge opportunity for continued growth, just doing what we do already. And as you rightly point out, outside of that, there's a huge opportunity. And then outside of our borders, who knows? There may well be growth beyond just the South African context. And I think that probably leads in nicely to the other hugely important aspect of investing in our world, which is the financial profile. And again, a business like this has a strong historical financial profile. And I think some of the aspects that are easy to get your head around and that we find very appealing are the strong visibility around the revenue line. And then, of course, some of the operating metrics that matter to us within the business. So overall, when one looks at the whole package, it really does feel like it stacks up quite nicely.
Yeah, this did feel like quite quintessential Corvest Umoya type transaction. I mean, partnering with a good individual who's happy to stay in for a longer period of time, allowing themselves to benefit in the financial return we believe is going to be generated, the ability to bring on through our networks additional resources and thoughts, additional individuals who can come in and really help us capture the opportunity. And it feels like we are pretty well poised for some success.
In addition, we've also brought Ryan into the mix, who certainly has had a strong start and is a very impressive individual in his own right. So hopefully bolstering the team and bringing some new thinking and a dynamic into it, which will be net positive for both the business and all the customers out there that are hopefully studying hard. And I guess the overlay here, which is not always achieved in everything we do, is the societal impact that this business has. Bringing it all together with the aspects that you've just outlined, together with the continued impact that we hope to have on the lives of the students going through the system, and then of course on the lives of the children that they ultimately teach. We think it's a good story overall, and we are very excited about what the future holds for this particular investment.